Hello and welcome back. Gigi here. I already had my looming items out, so I thought I would go ahead and do the fairy tales bracelet for Cynthia for Crazmamaw. If you are not following her, please hop over and give her a follow. She has some awesome designs on her page. Okay, first thing we're going to do is lay out your loom. So we have 3 across from the center, 1, 2, 3, and then they drop down on both sides. Make sure that all of your openings are facing away from you. I cannot tell you how many times I've started a loom and then I'm like, what's wrong with this? Okay, I had to pop back in here because there's one thing that you need to do, and I didn't see it in the flip, but the first thing you need to do before you lay any of your bands is you need to go across these 3 pins right here with a band. If you don't, once you start looping it up, these bands that go across here as you're looping them back up are going to have nothing to hold on to, and we need to make sure everything is connected. So you do need to do this. Whatever color you're going to be using for your cross band here, you need to put a band right here. Okay, you keep watching, you'll see where I did not, and I had to correct that. Not really a big deal, but I did want to pop back on and just remind you that before we put any other bands down, we need to lay this one first. Okay, let's get back with it. Okay, so we're gonna drop a closure band right here, and we're gonna go straight up the center instead of doing your border first. This is the way she has this set up. And I'm going to be using beads up the center. I'm going to do every other one. So I will put those on. And if I can, there we go. Pushing everything down. So straight up the center. If you're not using beads, that's okay. But you will need to do this center row. If you don't, your bracelet won't come together. All right, so from there, so let me see, I'm not going to put another one because it'll just take too long to do that, but so do your center bands all the way up. Okay, then what we're going to do is go over to the 4th pin bar, 1st pin, and we're going to do diagonals all the way up to the end of the loom. At this point, I don't know how far away from the loom the top of the loom I'm going to be, but once I lay these, when I come back, I will show you. All right, so 4th pin bar, 1st pin, up to the right, up to the left, up to the right, and then up to the left. You want to do that all the way to the end of your loom. We're going to do the same thing, but in reverse on the other side. So 2nd pin bar, going to take it out diagonally to the left, that pin diagonally to the right, and diagonally to the left. So do that all the way up to the end of your loom, and I will be back when I finish mine. I'm not sure how long this bracelet is going to be, but I stopped 5 pin bars from the top. So my center pins and then the zigzags, and they stop going in towards each other. So this is what that should look like. Okay, now I'm not sure about the colors for this, so we're going to go ahead and use white next, and of course you can use any colors you wish. And what we're going to do is we're going to take and span these 3 bands. So what I mean by that is you just take it over from 1 to the 3rd, just like that. Okay. Go up to the next set of 3 across the center there, and then just bring that straight across. So I'll do that a few more times. Easy peasy, right? Okay, and then we're going to be doing X's, and I'm going to use 2 different colors every other set of X's. All right, so you want to do that. Span these 3 all the way up to the end of your loom. Okay. All right, and making sure that you've pushed these down because we're going to be putting them in the center. Okay, so I think I'm going to use, sorry about that. I think I'm going to use these, the purple. It's worn off, so I can't even tell what they are. I'm sorry. All right. So, first pin, second pin bar, out to the right. Go over to the next one. I can get these bands separated. And we're going to go third pin bar, diagonal to the right. And then we're going to just reverse that. I'm going to start here and go to the left to finish that X. And then on the fourth one, diagonal to finish that X. Can you see those okay? I'm not sure about the lighting. All right, I'm going to do gold next, so excuse me, hopefully you'll be able to see that. All right. The next set, I'm going to go up to the next pin, which is second pin bar, second pin, diagonal to the right, next pin, diagonal to the right, and then we're going to finish off those X's. And you'll need to make sure that you push everything down nice and snug, just like that, right? So X, X, and then finish that all the way up to the end of the loom. You can pause me if you need to, rewind, whatever you need to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish mine, and then I will be back with you. Okay, so I don't forget to add that band that spans those last three right there. So that, and then the X's that are here, and I have put cap bands on this, this, and this, because we're getting ready to loom this up. Okay? So, there we go. We are going to, let's get a little bit closer maybe. All right. Make sure that I am in frame. So all three of these on the bottom here have cap bands on them. We have flipped our loom around. What we're going to do is, this is on the bottom, so we're going to reach in and grab that diagonal and bring it back to itself, just like that. Okay? Going into the next one, we're going to grab that diagonal that goes to the left, make sure I've got the right one, and bring it back to itself. Going into that same pin, we're going to reach in, we're going to grab the diagonal that goes to the right, loom it back to itself, reach in through that cap band, grab the one that goes to the left, and loom it back to itself. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here. We're going to work on this band here. Going to reach in, going to grab it, and we're going to take it to the center. Going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to go in, we're going to grab it, and we're going to take it to the center. Okay, and that completes that. I'll do it one more time with you. Going up to the next set of X's, I'm going to reach in. Sometimes, you know, having to move things back is a pain. I'm able to go in here and grab this right here. Okay, so loop it back to itself, go into the next one, grab the top band, which should be that diagonal that goes to the left, and loop it back to itself. Go into that same pin, grab the next one on top, and loop it back to itself. Skip over to your next, the fourth pin bar, and loop that back to itself. And don't forget, you reach in, you'll grab this one and loop it to the center, go over to the right, grab that crossbar and loop it back to the center. Now you might be thinking, oh no, these are going to fall apart. That's not true. That's why we laid that center band. That will be the last thing we do. Okay, so rewind if you have to. Go ahead and start on your next set, and I will be back with you when I finish mine. I wanted to stop here before I finish this up. Hopefully you will catch this before you finish this very last part here. I noticed, let me get a little bit closer here, and it may have been I just didn't see it, you know, in the flip or what, but This white band right here needs to be underneath this one. So what I'm going to do to make it easier, let's see, I'm going to just clip that white band and take it off completely out of there. So if you come across things like this, you can easily fix these. So just so you know. All right, so this needs to be on the bottom. So instead of, I can take everything off of here and just put that on, and then put everything back. Hopefully you can see this. There's that one. I'm gonna reach over here and grab this one. Let go, come on. Well, it doesn't want to let go. All right, and then put this one back. So now I have this hanging out right here, okay? Now, the center here, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna reach in, and there are 3 bands on there, so I'm gonna grab all 3 of them, bring this across, and I'm just gonna let it hang out there for just a second so I can take these off and put them all back on, just the way they came off. Okay. Oh, am I in frame? I don't even know. All right, so then we'll reach this in and wiggle that around to put things back in place. Okay, I'm going to take, this thing is like on my hip, so I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and take this one off, reach in and grab these 2, just put them on my hook, take them off, put this across here, okay, and then put them back on the way they came off. Can't always do that, it's not always easy, but I think that will be okay, because and then I'm going to save that for last. I'm going to save this the last thing that I do before I loop up the border, okay? Because if I don't, and this is on top, and I loop this purple one over to here, it has nothing to loop back up to. So it might have been that I just missed seeing it in the flip. I don't know, but we can fix things like that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up with you. I'll grab that over there. Go in here, grab the top purple one, which should be the one that goes, yeah. It created a teardrop, so I know it was right. And then this one. Go over to the next one and bring it back to itself. Okay. So now with this being on the bottom, when we loop these up and then we loop that across to the center, everything will be fine. It will not fall apart. At least I hope it won't. All right, so this is what that looks like. I just wanted to come in and there we go. Let's zoom that back out and point that out to you, because I was like, oh, you know, when I'm doing this, I kind of try to pay attention to what I'm doing, and when I was thinking about looming it back up, I was like, that doesn't look quite right to me. All right, so what we're going to do now, easy peasy, we're going to go in and we are going to loop these all the border bands back to themselves. Okay. Hopefully you are like me and you watch the whole tutorial before you actually start to loom. I always do that because sometimes, you know, there are mistakes made and you just kind of have to, you know, go with the flow. All right, so I'm going to go over to the other side here. I'm going to grab these and loop them back. Grab that border band, loop it back, reach in, grab that border band and loop it back. All right, how's my lighting here? I guess it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that, and I will meet you back at the top. Okay, I will have most of this off except for the top, and then we'll finish the last part of it together. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I am at the end here, and one thing that I failed to tell you, which could be disastrous if you forget this, is if we take this off the loom now, it will fall apart. It will fall apart because nothing is connecting the center here yet. I completely forgot about the single bands that run up the center. Please do not forget that. If you forget that, you will be sorry. So we're going to just loom those up. Okay. I'm stuck. Yeah, we're going to loom those last bands up, and just be careful because it is pretty tight in there. You can see how tight that band is right there. Just try to loosen it up a little bit. I don't want it too tight. I don't want it to break. So loom those center bands up before you take this off, and I will make sure that I have a comment in the section before this. All right, so finish that up. When you get to the very top, after you've looped all of your border bands together to here, then you're going to reach in and grab this white band right here. Can you see it? There we go. You're going to grab this white band and then loop it back just like you did down here. See, I didn't finish that one yet. It's okay. Well, I'm going to have to undo that. All right. Not a big deal. I forgot something. There are always workarounds. When you forget to do something, sometimes you can back out pretty easily, like with this one. I'll just put these back on. Sometimes you can't, and then you just have to go with the flow. Oops, that's not on there. Okay. So all I have to do is back those up. My gosh, you'd think this was my first time looming. Oh, I am so rusty, so I apologize. All right, now that one can go over, and then I will put these back where they belong. Okay, I was so worried about that top band that I completely forgot to do this one. All right, get on there. Just stay on for a second. All right, and I'll put that one right there. Then I can go, come on. I can go in here and just grab this one and bring it back. No harm, no foul. Took me a little bit longer, but that's okay. And I'd rather show you these mistakes. I leave them in. I don't take them out because, you know, if they happen to you, then how are you going to know how to fix them, right? So, yeah, that's why I do that. And sometimes I'm just klutzy. I forget what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, reading the flipograms are sometimes a little, that doesn't look right, does it? All right. There we go. Now we can grab that. Because it wasn't right. Okay. Put that back, put this back. And do not forget those single bands that go up the center. Okay, I'll be back, show you how to finish this off, and then show you the bracelet. Okay, so let's finish this up. So I ended up here with the borders. Okay, we're going to go in and grab that white that's on the, well, we're going to go through everything and grab that white that's on the bottom and bring it right here. Okay, and that's going to tie these in together. Going to go in and grab that one and bring it back together. Okay, so I went ahead and I did my single bands that were up the center. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in, I'm going to grab my closure band that I added. I can find it. Scooch around, there we go. And then I'm going to pull it up through everything. It's just a little, is that even it? It doesn't even feel like it. Let's try this again. It's really tight in there. So that's why you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just do it a different way because that way I know for sure I've got it. I'm going to just reach in and I'm going to, whoops, I'm going to just clip that one because I may have gotten it messed up in there. So we don't want to mess with it, so just throw it away. All right, so I'm going to go in through everything. Going to grab this closure band that I know for sure is the right one, and we're going to bring it up, and then you can leave it there and put a C-clip on if you want, but I'm going to do a slip stitch right there. Okay, and I see I still have a little piece of that one that I cut off there. Okay, all right, so with a bracelet like this that you spent time and effort on, you do not want to rip it off of your loom because inevitably something will break. So you just go in and very gently lift up the edges and take them off. Oop, let go. There we go. Still keeping my fingers crossed that nothing falls apart on this, because you never know with me. All right, okay, and you can see how tight that center is. So you just have to be very careful with it. And the last one, right, come on, right there. Okay, perfect. Yay, move that out of the way. Look how cute that is. Okay, now I did not realize that this was not going to be very wide, so I will not be using that charm that I initially showed you. So what you want to do is you want to go through, and any bands that are twisted, like I will need to fix these right here. They're just a little off, and I chose to use flat bands for that because I didn't want them sticking up too far. Okay. All right, that's actually really pretty. And you could see in her design, I did every other one, but if you had done one here, it would have looked like that went around it. I think that's how that came out in her photos. So I'm going to go ahead and fix these, and I will have pictures for you. And I never grab my bands with my nails ever, because you can cut them. Okay, just see the difference here though. I straightened these out right here, and this one is not straightened. It makes a difference in your bracelet. I mean, look at that. That doesn't look very nice. Well, it's pretty, the colors and all, but this looks much better when they lay flat like that. Okay, well, I appreciate you sticking around through all my craziness here. And like I said, I will have pictures of these. Hop over to Instagram and visit Crazmamaw's page and like some of her stuff. Send her some love. So thank you so very much for joining me again. If you did enjoy this, go ahead and hit that like button, and you can subscribe if you want. It's all up to you. I just like doing these. I know it's been a while since I've been on. Well, if you count yesterday, I guess it wasn't a while. All right. Anyway, everybody take care. Thank you for watching. And as always, be kind and creative.